Hello everyone, welcome to the program. This is Politics Today live on Channels Television. I'm Sean Kimalo here in Abuja tonight. Our attention, well, it's not split, but then we're focusing on two major stories tonight, and we're bringing you perspectives and breaking it all down for you, bringing you all the details that you need to know to make an informed opinion about some of these issues. So on one hand is a situation in the People's Democratic Party as the leaders of the party, members of the PDP Governors Forum, one of the highest and the biggest and perhaps one of the most influential political bloc within that party met today in Oyo State, and they've come out with a position. The communique was read today, and the position is very clear. I'll be bringing you sound bites from that, and I'll also get you to speak with one of the members of the conscience of the party tonight. What does the PDP stand for in the midst of all of these issues? Then I'll take you to River State, where also I will bring in one of the elders in River State to weigh in on the protest that we now see on a daily basis in Port Harcourt, the River State capital, on the state of emergency rule in that state. Stick around with me, everyone. Before we get into all of the conversation, let's serve you with your political roundup stories.
The National Rescue Movement, NRM, has expelled its former national chairman, Mr. Isaac Ude, and 4 other officers over anti-party activities. The national chairman of the party, Mr. Chinedu Obi, announced this at an emergency national convention of the party in Abuja. According to Mr. Obi, the decision is in line with a report of the disciplinary committee set up to investigate the activities of the suspended former executives of the party. Those expelled are the former FCT secretary, Mr. Emmanuel Tabo, former Ondo State chairman, Mr. Genyo Ataunoko, and the former Kogi State Chairman, Ms. Agada Agnes. The party also extended the tenure of all its national officers by 4 years.
Those in support of the motion for this expulsion, say aye. Aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it.
To Cross River State, where the deputy governorship candidate of the PDP in the 2023 governorship election, Mrs. Emana Amawe, has defected to the All Progressives Congress. Mrs. Amawe resigned from the PDP on March 28, 2025, signaling the end of a long-standing affiliation with the party. She was received by the state party chairman, Governor Bassey Otu, his wife, and other APC stakeholders at the government house in Calabar. In Delta State, the chieftain of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Johnny Michael, is warning against any attempt to alter the recently concluded ward delineation report for the Warri Federal Constituency. Michael, who made his position known during a press briefing, insisted that the current delineation accurately reflects the population spread across the constituency. Describing the recent protests as a mere distraction, he commended the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, for what he called a thorough and professionally executed exercise. A former presidential candidate, Mr. Gbenga Olawepo Hashim, is expressing concerns over opposition politicians employing ethnic rhetoric to gain political advantage, as he describes such tactics as obsolete and harmful to Nigeria's unity and development. In a statement released in Abuja, Mr. Olawepo Hashim warns that the continued deployment of ethnic sentiments in political discourse is a distraction from the pressing issues confronting the nation.
Thank you so much. There you have it. You've been served with your political roundup stories, and you are up to speed. But let's get you more details on the major stories for conversation on the program tonight. We'll begin from Oyo State, where the governors of the People's Democratic Party met, although we did not see Governor Sim Fubara of River State. But then the governors who are present after their meeting in Ibadan have agreed that all the talks of mergers and political coalitions ahead of the 2027 general elections, they are out of it and they won't be participating. They had all of these resolutions made and drafted in a communique which was read, talking about the party internal affairs, the situation in Rivers, and the reasons why they went to court. You can see the governors in a similar pattern of attire, except for the national chairman or the acting national chairman of the party, Mr. Umar Damagumba. Of course, you can see all the governors are dressed in a uniform attire for their meeting. It does look like a usual way when they're meeting in this manner. And the governor of Oyo State was a host. But let me allow you to listen to them. What they said about the issue of mergers and coalition ahead of the politicking of 2027.
2 questions. Noting the nationwide speculation about the possible merger of political parties, groups, and/or associations, the forum resolved that the PDP will not join any coalition or merger. However, the PDP, as a major opposition party, welcomes any party, persons, or groups that are willing to join it with a view to wresting power and enthroning good leadership in 2027.
That's their position, and I'm wondering whether the governors now speak for the entire political party. Well, the chairman of the party, the acting chairman, is there, but they also spoke and decided on the situation regarding the controversy over the national secretary seat of the party, and this is what they have decided going forward.
The forum reiterates its position taken in Asaba on the issue of the national secretary of the party, but in the wake of the Supreme Court judgment, the forum resolved to recommend that the deputy national secretary acts as a national secretary pending the nomination and ratification of a substantive national secretary from the Southeast Zone at NEC at its next meeting.
All right. That is their decision, but they're also explaining their position as a forum in going to court and dragging the federal government and the president on the state of emergency rule declared by the president in Rivers State. Take a listen to them.
The forum reasserts our collective determination to avert a rape of our constitutional democracy, hence the decision of approaching the Supreme Court to give a clear-cut verdict on the interpretation of the provision of the law on the declaration of state of emergency in any state of the Federation. The forum therefore reiterates its solidarity with His Excellency Similai Fubara on the ordeal into which his state and people have been plunged into by the declaration of the state of emergency. And we reiterate our commitment to stand with him till the end.
Again, they spoke about the NEC and National Convention of the party. It does look like they have a position, and perhaps that is the manner in the way the party will be going.
The forum resolved that working in conjunction with the National Working Committee, NWC, and other relevant organs of the party to hold a NEC meeting on the 27th of May 2025, constitute a zoning committee that will address all issues relating to zoning of the party offices and hold an early convention in August 2025, precisely on the 28th, 29th, and 30th of August in the ancient city of Kano. The forum equally recommends the constitution of the zoning and National Convention committees for ratification by NWC and NEC as follows. Zoning committee to be made up of Governor Duedri of Bayelsa State as chairman, Governor Dauda Lawal as vice chairman, and Governor Caleb Mutwang as secretary, while the National Convention committee will be headed by Governor Ahmadu Fintri as chairman, Governor Ademola Adeleke as vice chairman, and Governor Peter Mba as secretary.
Let's get some perspectives. They're taking some position, but you imagine that as an organ of the party, well, the PDP governors are actually not an organ, they're just a caucus of the party. So as by the rule and the constitution of the PDP, whatever they say, is it right? Is it law? Is it binding? What does this mean as far as the PDP is concerned? The position that they have taken, is it binding on all members of the party? What about those who are thinking about coalition and merger within the PDP. The governors, yes, powerful, perhaps one of the most powerful caucus of the group in the party. But let's get some insight. And one of the members of the conscience of the party, which is the Board of Trustees, I'm being joined by Chief Bode George, who is live for us virtually. Thank you so much, Chief George, for joining us tonight on the program.
Thank you for having me. It's always my pleasure.
Yeah. As a founding member of the party, you understand this party. You've seen it all. You've done it all. Give us an understanding. The governors meeting today, I guess, is perhaps a good news for your party because there are a lot of issues they dealt with, which a lot of the organs of the party have been battling to deal with. But now they've beaten on it and they've come out with their position. But first and foremost, legally speaking, under the constitution of your party, whatever these governors say today, is it binding? How strongly influential are what they said today?
No. By the constitution of the party, these are suggestions, they are making. And for the consideration of the National Working Committee and the final decision by the National Executive Committee. By hierarchy, the highest authority in the party is the National Convention, followed by the National Executive Committee, and then, of course, the third line in subsection is the National Working Committee, who handle the day-to-day running. But let me congratulate the Governors Forum. They have brought so much joy to my mind because the public majority of the electorate are already concluding that probably PDP is dead, PDP is not acting, they are not doing this, they are not doing that. What they came out with today has gladdened my mind and has reinforced my complete loyalty and belief that this nation will survive. Most of the decisions they said are quite, reasonable. And they will be subject to discussions at NWC and finally by NEC for approval. Where else can you go? I mean, this is classic. And I am happy. I want to congratulate all these gentlemen who gathered here today to come up with this suggestion. The issue of merger, how can the colossus, how can you expect the local political party to be looking for somebody to merge with? People will come and join us. Our doors are always open. We are not like the party in government that is a congregation of strange bedfellows. They don't even have a structure that we have. You hear about national chairman of APC, national chairman. Who is the national secretary? Who is the national organizing secretary? Who is the woman leader? Who is the youth leader of APC? You don't hear. So ours, we have a formidable political Iroko tree established by those loyal, dedicated, committed elders. And, the little friction that we had, we told the people, those who are dancing on their grave, we can extract them. So it's a beautiful day today, 14th of April, will remain indelible in the minds of a lot of our people. Yes, they have made their suggestions. That's a starting point for discussion. And most of the decisions they make are reasonable. Maybe we'll have one thing or the other or little, changes here and there. But the main focus, it's sine qua non. And I am happy that we are heading in the right direction.
Right. It does look, Chief George, that the PDP governors are charting a way forward for the party. From what observers will see, it does look like your party has now become a dog that has lost its pathway home and just hovering in the bush, finding a way home. That's your party looks like a stray dog who doesn't know his way back home. But the governors look like they are trying to chart a way for it. But let me ask you, is the party not deceiving itself, like some people will say? You look at the election of 2023, Bola Tinubu of the APC at 8.7 million votes.
Right.
Atiku Abubakar at 6.9 million votes.
Right.
Peter Obi at 6.1 million votes. ANPP's Robbie Musu Konkonso at 1.4 million votes. So if you put all of that together, there are those who does a permutation and the mathematics who say, look, if only the PDP stay united, and Peter Obi was the running mate to Atiku in 2019. Kwankwaso was a former member of the PDP. If you put 1.4 million votes to 6.1 million of Peter Obi, that will give you 7.5 million votes. If you add it to 6.9 million votes of Atiku Abubakar, it will give you about 14 million votes or 15 million votes compared to the Tinubu of 8.7 million votes. Interestingly, you put all of those figures together and all of them work together, they would have beaten APC silly. Those who say there's no pathway to victory for the PDP or any other political party if there is no alliance or working together. Don't you think that this is a straightforward political mathematics, Chief George, with your experience?
What happened the last time was a self-infliction. We shot ourselves in the head by deviating from the doctrine establishing this party by the founding fathers. Some of us won. They were not crazy when they established this doctrine, this process. They were not stupid, but a divided house will remain a defeated house. Now, all those marching now calling themselves mega party, they want to go and march here and there, are all wanting to be president of Nigeria. Who will give room for who? Now, let us get back to the drawing board. Let's get back to our normal platform. Let's restabilize this platform and follow the rules as dictated, as established by the founding fathers. We will not fail. And today is the first step to that direction. We have realized we committed a very stupid mistake in the last time. Those who want to go to any party and take up the presidential ticket can go. Those who get our ticket for presidential candidature must meet the doctrine. We must meet the procedure establishing this party. And we have learned a lesson. You see the way he has taken us, we've gone in different directions, and a divided house will remain a defeated house. This is the first step, and I'm happy about what the decisions they are taking. We had, and I will repeat it, 8 years of the zoning presidential candidate was in the north. By section 7, subsection 3C of our party. Once all positions in the north, after 8 years, will come down to the south. Who was the last president for 8 years? It was Mayoga General Buhari. So how would another person, Atiku, who is also a northerner, take over the presidential ticket? We messed up. They completely mesmerized the procedure. And we told them that you would land in the bush. So what happened? That's why you now told us we are like a stray dog. Now we have listened. We have experienced it. The public itself has been shouting. There is no proper opposition. But this first step today, and thank God, is the 14th day of April. We are charting our course a route back to normalcy. And with little changes in this, the major issues have been dealt with. Look at the way we were sent packing in Rivers State for committing no crime. There was no violence there. Nothing. And I remember when Papa Awolowo said in 1962 in the National Parliament, when they were going to declare state of emergency in Western region, quoting him, he told the Prime Minister then, Baba Balewa, that where is that violence you are talking about? I was in the Western House Assembly when the little fracas started. There were two crazy people who were trying to disrupt the system. That after that, the police arrested them. When he walked out of the parliament, the people outside the parliament didn't even know that kind of thing.
Chief George, if I'm abording quickly.
Where is the violence that Bola is citing from the Constitution? That he went ahead to suspend an elected governor of a state based on what? And I am trying to remind people and remind him that was how it all started in 1962. By 1963, they jailed Awolowo. By 1966, there was a coup, there was a counter coup. It led to a civil war. Is that why can't we learn from history? What exactly was the reason why you now told an elected governor to take
so you don't align or you do not agree with President Tinubu's explanation for the state of emergency? Not. He said he had tried to call all of them together. By far, the record, just a moment, Chief George, by far, as a last report of our oil production, in the whole of Africa, Nigeria's oil production was the highest. As a last count. And if you look at what this government says they want to do, they want to wrap up and be able to increase our oil production. And as soon as the president said he was hearing the burning or the destruction of pipeline and oil facility, he needed to move in quickly. And he said that he has spoken to all parties, but they ignored him. Should we have waited, those who will ask the question, waited for an escalation of violence in the oil-rich state?
Is this the first time this country has lost production of oil? What is actually going on in the rivers, in the riverine area there? Is it because of that? People have been self-stealing all the crude oil there.
But Chief George, as a retired military officer, Chief George, I thought that defense and proactiveness is part of your training, and I imagine that for strategy's sake, you prevent rather than going around to arrest the situation. There are those who have applauded President Tinubu who said he took the decision right on time and nipped it in the bud.
That was a very wrong decision. The same thing Baba Awolowo told Tafawa Balewa in 1962 in the parliament. Go and check it. That was there crisis in Mokola? Was there violence in Ogbomosho? Was there violence in Badagry? Was there violence in Ajegule? Why are you declaring state of emergency in Western region? The same thing I want to ask this man. Was there violence in Port Harcourt? Was there violence on the in the pipe areas?
Chief George, is it because you don't like Bola Tinubu politically? You have always expressed it. Well, because there are those who will say the president under your political party at the time, Olusegun Obasanjo, did same not to one, not to two, but about 3 states in Nigeria where he declared state of emergency. You don't see anything wrong. Why is it now that it's Bola Tinubu that you say that is wrong?
You see, what Baba, take up. Let's go into details. What happened in Plateau State, where he declared that state of emergency? The people in Plateau State said they did no longer want the barrier. He came from the people that they didn't want him. Which other one was the one that you are referring to? It did not come from him. This one, you said, oh, maybe security something is. Where is the security? The governor came out. He went to appeal to those members of the parliament. He was preaching peace, and we had addressed the Ijaw people that they will be calm. There should be no violence. So why are you now? You know the consequences of what he did? Disrespecting the elected, the voice of the people. You in war, when you say you want to proact, it's different from reacting and sending everybody packing. It's a very serious issue.
But I mean, if you have found error in the decision of President Tinubu, is there any way for him to fix this? What do you think you could have done, in your own view, Chief George, that will make things right?
Let me remind you what he did. He called a meeting of pandemic, the leaders of the Ijaw Kingdom, on day one. Right? The second day, he had signed. Wike went, addressed some people, and said that the Ijaw people who are talking, if they are small, if they do anything, I will whap them. That was the second day. The third day, following them, the first, the second, the third day, the president had already signed the Gazette that there should be state of emergency, and then now forwarded it to the National Assembly, who did a voice vote. Is that normal? Is that legal? Is that rational? Is that a tender for discussion? No. That's all we are saying. What was the total capacity of the vote assembly at the time they took the decision? A very serious matter.
I was asking Chief George, what do you think President Bola Tinubu can do? You've said that there is an error of judgment in his action.
He should reverse it. He should immediately tell, you see what that young man is doing? And I have told him, was my junior in the military. You now headed on, you are now appointing also administrators for local governments. What? You are removing members of the members of the parastatal, the boards of parastatal. Do you have the authority to do that? And he's taking the budget now to members of the National Assembly. What is this? Why can't we learn from history? Why can't we learn from history? What is the urgency? You want to take over the place, allow the people to voice their decision in 2027, not to preempt it, because what you are doing, it's not your party. The one you refer to, Baba Obasanjo, the PDP was in government in Plateau State. I don't remember the other state that you mentioned. There were reasons for this. So, coming and telling people and doing things like as if it's a private fiefdom doesn't work.
But Chief George, let me quickly, away from the state of emergency. On one hand, Atiku Abubakar has met with, alongside Tambuwal, El Rufai, and a few other persons. Atiku Abubakar met with former President Buhari, and he confirmed that he's working and talking to other people for the purpose of a coalition or working together with other political parties. On the other hand, the governors are saying there is nothing like that. No merger, no coalition. Is it that Atiku Abubakar is on his own? But one will imagine Atiku Abubakar is the leader of the party as of today.
No. If he is the leader of the party, he would have waded into it. All right? The fact that he was the presidential candidate at the last election, all right, doesn't mean is a bona fide fixated leader of the party. If he is running for his own private interest, it's different from the interest of the party.
You don't think Atiku Abubakar could be the presidential candidate of the PDP in 2027?
He cannot be. This is what I'm saying. That for 8 years in the north, there should be 8 years in the south. That is the dictate. That is the doctrine of the platform of PDP. I can't say he cannot contest. He can go to any party and take up because it's his constitutional
But if
right.
Atiku becomes he's done it back to back, 2019, 2023, and he could do it again. He's probably one of the most influential politician in Nigeria today. What does this portend for your party? Should Atiku pick the ticket of the PDP
he
in
cannot,
2027?
if he picks it, that is the end of this party. I want to tell you that. If he picks it by whatever manipulation which was what done the last time, we will not accept it.
But Chief Judge, you remember that you said that you were going to go on a self-inflicted exile if Bola Tinubu wins the election. Now he's done that. And those who were saying that whatever that is going on in your party, outside of your party, all of the other politicians, whatever they are doing, is a clear pathway to Tinubu becoming president again in 2027. Is it not another pathway for you on a self-exile, Chief Judge? Or how do you fix that politically as an opposition leader?
People, when I decided I could go anywhere I like at my age, at 80. And I'm on the 8th floor of life. What is my business? Well, I want this nation to become a great nation, which it had been. So going anywhere is my own personal decision. Now you knew how the people visited and apologized for the ills they had done in the past, and I accepted. To say, okay, let's see the way it's gonna work out. My party is in total confusion now, and these governors have met. They've put on their thinking caps, and they have decided, now we missed the route. Let us go back to the way it was conceptualized by the founding fathers of our party. That is encouraging. We will discuss this, their communique, we will look at it. If any individual who will not follow the dictates as established by the founding fathers of our party, he will not enjoy it. We tried it. We sent a communique out that was going to be the last time we would allow anybody from anywhere to contest. There are rules. Section 7, subsection 3C of our constitution is clear. Simplicity. It states, once the presidential candidate had been in the south for 8 years, he had to go to the north. And after another 8 years, he will come down to the south. So is Atiku from southwest? Is he from southeast? Is he from south-south? If he wants to contest, I can't stop him. It's his constitutional right. He can go and contest. But as far as this party is concerned, he cannot.
All right, Chief Bode George.
Be there at our convention. We have another 4 years for this thing to stay in the south.
All right.
If you don't believe in the doctrine of the PDP, stop dancing on the graves of our founding fathers.
Chief Bode George. Yeah. Yes. Chief Bode George is a member of the PDP's Board of Trustees. Thank you so much indeed for your time tonight. But I'm very sure that if at all, if all laws come to it, at least Bola Tinubu is your kinsman, is a Lagos man just as you. You will be happy if he wins the election again, isn't it?
Look, I want my party to win. Kinsman or no kinsman has no bearing. The British, when they left this nation, left two evils: tribalism and religious bigotry. Look at what is going on now all over Nigeria. The killings going on now. We are fighting on tribal issues. We are fighting on religious issues.
All right.
Where are we heading?
Chief Judge.
What does that got to do with the price of milk? This is what I'm saying.
I thought to tickle you a bit, but I didn't know that rather than go on exile, you might actually go to Badagry. Badagry is a very good place to be. Don't go too far, Chief Judge.
You can even go to the North Pole or go to Canada or go to anywhere I want to go.
But you are a sailor. You were trained to be on the high sea. You might decide to go on there. But thank you so much, Chief Judge. Always a pleasure having you on the program. We'll take a break, everyone. But when we return, I'll be speaking with yet another elder in the land. This time around is a Niger Delta activist. Ms. Ankyo Briggs will be speaking with us on the situation in Rivers State. Protests and counter-protests we're seeing in that oil-rich state. We'll be right back, everyone. Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with us on the program. So, what we saw today on the street of Port Harcourt, what is not too far away from what we have seen in the past days. But interesting thing is that today's protest was largely by those who say they're in support of the state of emergency. So women rally similar to what we saw last week on the street of Port Harcourt and protested on the street declaring support for the state of emergency rule declared by President Bola Tinubu in Rivers State. The women were dressed in white and marching through the Garrison flyover to the Isaac Borough Park. They carry placards with inscriptions such as state of emergency is constitutional and also we don't want Fubara. Those were the chants that we hear from them. And look at them in their numbers. We also understand that there are also a group of people who counter this protest. But let me allow you to listen to one of those who led the protest today.
We are here to say thank you to Mr. President, to National Assembly for restoring peace in Rivers State through state of emergency. We are here to tell the world that Rivers State is peaceful since the emergence and assumption in the office by the sole administrator. Vice Admiral retired Ekwe Ibas. Since his emergence as the sole administrator of Rivers State, we have experienced peace. There is no more threat from the militants, no burning of public assets, no sentiment from the tribal sentiment, no tribal war anymore. We are here to say thank you to Mr. President for allowing democracy to be restored in Rivers State.
All right, those are some of the agenda of those who led the protest today. Those of them who we saw in white. But we understand that a few things happened right there on the street in Port Harcourt when another group also who countered these protests emerged today saying they do not support what is going on as far as the state of emergency rule is concerned. Let's speak to one of the elders of Rivers State, a Niger Delta activist. Ms. Ankyo Briggs is live for us virtually from Port Harcourt. It's good to see you, Ms. Briggs. Thanks so much indeed for your time. Give us an understanding. Now, everyday protests we're seeing in Rivers. So what we imagine that the reason for the emergency rule is to calm frayed nerves and also the tension that we're seeing. But it does look like the agitation has now moved to the street. In your own view, what exactly do you think is going on? You are back in Port Harcourt, isn't it?
Yes, I am. Good evening, Sean. Good evening, everyone. What happened, what I saw today in Rivers State is the first time I am seeing a situation where someone, a group of persons that have encountered such a disaster as Chief Bode Thomas has just described to you, that people in Rivers State, whether they are all from Rivers State or supposedly invited from outside of Rivers State, is neither here nor there. What is amazing is that there are women like me in Rivers State who can feel that it is okay to celebrate, to be happy with what has happened to us. We have a stranger, we have a man who is not a Rivers man, overseeing the resources of Rivers State. And we have women who are happy that this is happening. We are in a situation where I'm surprised to hear from some of them. I don't recognize all of them. I recognize some of them, and they know me. That I can hear women saying that it is constitutional. What has happened in Rivers State is constitutional. Well, it may be constitutional to them, but the rest of Nigerians and people like Chief Bode Thomas and Chief Bode George and people abroad and at home believe and know, and even the president is very much aware that he has been fed information That is not true. There is no crisis. There was no crisis. There still is no crisis in Rivers State. If you look at the women in white, some of them are wives of former commissioners of the FCT minister. Some of them are commissioners that resigned, that were given to Fubara from the FCT minister, that resigned. Some of them are wives of the people that have taken appointment through the FCT minister in Abuja. So I'm really sad for my state and for myself that if you look at the women you showed in black, these women have been on a prayer mission since October 2023 till date. Till this week, they will do another prayer. What they are doing is prayer walk. You see, people say, oh, there is quiet in Rivers State. There is quiet not because we are afraid. There is quiet because we choose to be quiet. But now, Rivers women are seeing, these ones you're seeing now, are seeing that if we keep quiet, that what is going to forestall in the future is something that nobody can contain. People are angry. Look at the way the National Assembly, we have no trust. We have no, as far as the National Assembly is concerned, we have a stranger who's going to take the people he has appointed. How did he know these people? He's only been in Rivers State for 2 weeks. Where did he know these people from that he's appointing? How did he know them? How does he know their background? How does he know how the politics of Rivers State works? How we vote, why we vote the way that we vote? Does he understand the upland riverine dichotomy? People are saying it's an ethnic issue. It was never an ethnic issue. It is still not an ethnic issue as far as we are concerned in Rivers State. It is a group of people that have made it an ethnic issue. The fact that the FCT minister is an Ikwere man and that Rotimi Amechi served for 8 years. He served for 8 years. The Ijos were in support of both of them at the times that they were there. Now, an Ijo man is the governor. Is that what they mean by an ethnic issue? We never started this as an ethnic issue. It is an unjust, it is an unfair situation where a man has left the government house. He is now the governor, if you like, of the FCT, and yet he will not allow peace to reign between him and whom he said he brought. That's
but Ms. Briggs, is it fair to blame? Yes, apologies. Is it fair to blame Wike in all of this? Because those who bring Wike into all of this matter, can Wike fight himself? There are those who are of the opinion that in the first place, who brought Fubara into the scheme of things isn't in the Wike. Something must have happened that had caused the furore in the first place. The feud actually was also triggered by one action or reaction. So is it fair to blame only Wike in this matter? Is it because you don't like his face or what?
Even Wike will not tell you that I don't like his face. He will not tell you that because I supported Wike. I supported Wike, so Wike cannot tell you that. He just supported Wike. He cannot tell you that. Wike himself was brought by the then president, Goodluck Jonathan, and his wife, Dame Patience Goodluck Jonathan, against the desire of the Ijos. And yet we folded in and accepted that Wike can be the governor of Rivers State, even though it is unfair that we should have two people from the same upland, from the same ethnic nationality to govern Rivers State back to back. Now, that was perfectly all right with Wike until right now, when whatever he says, look, has Wike ever told us exactly, or has Fubara ever told us exactly what their issue is? What's their issue? Wike says it's about structure. What structure? What is he talking about when he says structure? When he says he will deliver River State to the president, is he going to pack everybody and hand them over to the president? Is that what he means? What he means is that he will deliver the votes of Rivers people. Now, the governor of Rivers State today, Simelai Fubara, is the person that will deliver the votes of Rivers State people to anybody they choose. If they choose that that person is going to be the president, Bola Tinubu, then that is whom it is going to be. But to think that somebody who is somewhere else is going to achieve that over the heads of Rivers people, that is what the issue is about. We are nobody's slaves. Nobody is a slave to
let me ask if I may quickly come in. Yeah, so there are those again, maybe Ms. Briggs, you belong to the Rivers Elders Forum, a group of elder statesmen and women in Rivers State who have come together to weigh in on this matter. But there are those who say blame the Rivers elders for not nipping this in the bud early enough. With the benefit of hindsight, you and your friends and colleagues who are elders and influential people, voices in Rivers State, do you for a moment think maybe you could have done something earlier in the day and not allow this to degenerate and make your state become a laughing stock in the committee of the state in Nigeria? Do you for some moment blame yourselves for not weighing in quickly on this matter? The president helped you, but the thing failed, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely not. I do not at any moment in time think that we didn't step in quick enough or that we should take responsibility. I will tell you why I say so. This group of the Leaders and Elders Forum is made up of people who are in APC political party, in other political parties. They are made up of people from Ogoni. They are made up of people from Ikwere. They are made up of people from Ekpe. Now, this group you are showing, Nigerians, is a group that has existed since 2014 or even a bit back. So we didn't just come up. Immediately this crisis reared its head. This group you're talking to, and we could republish those letters. We wrote letters to both the governor, Governor Simelai Fubara, and the FCT minister, that we wanted to meet with them, we wanted to see them. Now, when that didn't materialize, we went public with our intentions, and we kept saying the president should get himself involved. Now, what we didn't ask the president to do was for the president to set aside the constitution, which is ongoing till now. The president up till now, every step he has taken, Chief Bode George has said it, that everything he has taken. The National Assembly, we have lost confidence in the National Assembly as I speak to you. The National Assembly is not in a position to deliver any justice for Rivers State. But the IBAS, who has come to take over, who actually behaves and believes now that he is the governor of Rivers State, even though we have a governor of Rivers State, the people he appointed as local government chairman are tearing down the photographs of the governor of Rivers State. Simelai Fubara is the governor of Rivers State. Until they physically remove him He is the governor of Rivers State. And you have a stranger who is overseeing violence. The IBAS is overseeing, right now, he is overseeing violence in Rivers State. And I am surprised, again, I say, that I could see my fellow women in white singing and chanting that what has happened to Rivers State is a good thing, and that this stranger is welcome in Rivers State. I can assure you that he is not welcome in Rivers State. He should, first of all, he should declare his assets. Second of all, he should let us know how much money he made. There was money that was kept, that FOBRA kept. How much was it that FOBRA kept? We need to know. And how much of Rivers State allocation so far, since he has been sworn in, did he or has he collected? These are questions that Rivers State people have a right to ask and will ask, because we cannot continue to feed if you like, the eagerness of people who want to become president in Nigeria. Will think that Rivers State is the place where they will go and get funds that they don't belong to them and use it to run elections just because.
Is that what is going on,
Ms.
Ms. Briggs? Can you authenticate that claim?
It is allegedly. Allegedly, that is what it is. It is about, you have heard even the former governor of Rivers State say it clearly over and over again, Rotimi Amechi, that what is going on in Rivers State is about the resources and the money of Rivers State. It is alleged that that is what this whole thing is about. And looking at everything and the way it has played out, I have no other choice but to accept, because there is no other explanation.
But let me ask you, ma'am. Mr. Ibas has been given a task to do, and it's giving it's been sent on an errand. Go for 6 months in the initial and run the affairs of the state. What would you have him done? To sit there as a lame dog and not do anything or fold his arms? What would you have thought that he could do? Not to do anything, or what exactly?
First of all, I can assure you that he is pouring petrol on a fire that the president believes that was on. So he was told to come and pour water on that fire to quench it. Well, he has done nothing of the sort. I've told you that he has removed people who were constitutionally in governance, who democratically were in governance. There were no issues. And he came along and he has removed everybody. Even in the government house, he has removed the pictures of, it is alleged that he has removed the pictures of Siminalayi Fubara. I repeat, Siminalayi Fubara remains the governor of Rivers State, because the president said that it is for a period of 6 months. Does not mean that the president cannot change his mind and say, okay, I am calling off the state of emergency. Fubara is no longer under suspension. His deputy is no longer under suspension. And Ibas, go back to Cross River, go back to your retirement. Now, the question now is, the people that he has put there, what's going to become of them? They will go, because they are not there constitutionally, they are there illegally. That's one. Two, if he says he wants to present a budget, how much money does he know that Rivers State has? And what is it that he knows that Rivers State people need, on which he is going to base and calculate his budget on? How is that possible? You come into a state. Will Lagos people allow that? Will Kaduna State people allow that? You come into a state and you decide that the budget the governor has prepared is not good enough, and that you are going to represent a budget to the National Assembly. And you think that by some magical instrument, that is going to be okay for the people of Rivers State.
What would you, ma'am, what would you suggest as a way forward in all of these saga and what has become a major quagmire. There are those who will not accept Mr. Ibas. There are those who have gone on the street to say, yes, we want him. The man is doing what he has been asked to do, but that doesn't look like it suffices for a lot of people who think that he's there illegitimately, albeit, well, he's being sent by the president. But in all of this, is the interest of the Rivers people is paramount. In your own informed opinion, what do you think would be the best way to approach this for peace sake in Rivers State?
May I say that I am a Rivers person, irrespective of the fact that I belong to a group. I also am a Rivers person. I am affected by what he's doing negatively, and so is so many other Rivers persons. I believe that the best thing at this time is that both the governor and the FCT minister must tell the truth to the people of Rivers State. We deserve the truth. We have been through too much. We want to know what started this thing. Where did it start from? It's not good enough for the former governor to say he made Fubara the governor. No, he did not, because somebody also made you governor. So if that is what this is all about, then it's babas, because somebody made you governor, you made somebody else governor. Can we please have peace in Rivers State? Now, having said that, we want to know the truth. What is the problem? How did this problem start? Rivers people have a right to know. We have a right to know what happened between the two of them, and we will insist that we be given the truth.
Ms. Ankyo Briggs, one of the leaders and, of course, the leading voice in the agitation for peace in Rivers State and the Niger Delta activist. Thank you so much indeed for your time tonight. I appreciate it, ma'am.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure. But that's our show for tonight, everyone. Many thanks for watching. I'm Sean Okimale. I'll see you tomorrow, God willing. God bless Nigeria.